Hi, this is Joe again with another video. When I say in this video, I'm going to discuss the 1976 film Taxi Driver, starring Robert De Niro, Sybil Shepherd, and a very young Jodie Foster. Of course, this movie defined Robert De Niro's real life career, because of course in real life now Robert De Niro has gone nuts, threatening to beat up the President of the United States, President Trump, threatening to hit him in the head. And most of the liberals and however want to do. But you can tell that he went nuts by bringing this movie. And of course, this is also really, I think, like the first film that Martin Scorsese directed became a big hit. He did a couple movies before then, but none of them really became a big hit. This one did. As a matter of fact, this one was also nominated for Best Picture, but lost to a little movie called Rocky. So it didn't, obviously didn't win, but got some recognition for Martin Scorsese's director, Robert De Niro as an actor, and of course, like I said earlier, a very, very young Jodie Foster, who was about like 12 or 13 years old at the time. And I'm going to get into that in a minute, because it's because Jodie Foster played a very controversial part in this film. Of course, this movie is about Robert De Niro's character playing a guy named Travis Bickle, who was a Vietnam vet who just got out of the army, didn't know what to do with himself. He doesn't sleep nights because of all the trauma he had experienced in the Vietnam War. So he decides to join a New York City cab company and become a cab driver. And he works nights, and he decides to see what New York City was at night at that time. Now you have to realize that New York City back then, in the mid '70s, was a pretty crime-riddled city at that time. A lot of crime, a lot of prostitution going on. Times Square is not the safe family zone that it is today in 2018. It's completely different. All the movie theaters were like X-ray movie houses in that time, until when Rudy Giuliani, when he came in as mayor, he cleaned up Times Square. But at that time it was still pretty see, it's called the Red Light District of New York City at that time. And of course, Robert De Niro's character, Travis, he sees all this stuff and he makes his mission to clean up the sewers of New York, the sewer that's New York City. Of course, at that time, it's like almost like little vignettes almost. It's like almost like two halves of the story. The first half is when Robert De Niro getting his job as a cab, trying to relate to other cab drivers who worked for the same cab company. And then while he was driving around, he sees Sybil Shepherd, who was working for a candidate was running for president. And he decides to watch her from his cab when she was working in the office. Every time you do this video, you get these motorcycles and stuff going by. And so he decides, or Travis decides to ask her out for a date. He says, "Oh, would you like to go to a movie?" Now, of course, Travis, he goes to movies, but he doesn't go to the regular movies like go see Rocky or All the President's Men. I'm talking about all the big movies that came out that year in 1976. He takes her out to Times Square to an X-rated movie. And he says, "This is where you take me to? You take me to see an X-rated movie?" And I didn't say X-rated. Because usually movies are talking about rated, the rating system then. So he says, "Oh, there's a dirty movie. Of all places to take me to, you take me to see a dirty movie?" And he says, "Yeah, I go to dirty movies all the time. It's no big deal." And then of course Sybil Shepherd had enough and gets up and walks out. I don't want to see you again. But he was stalking Sybil Shepherd for a while, until when they call the cops on him. And he just runs off and gets in the cab and drives away and never comes back. And then, in the meantime, he found Jodie Foster, who, I'm talking about a very, very young Jodie Foster. I mean, if you think she was hot now, you should see what she looks like when she was a 12-year-old. And I think that's how old she was. I think she was about 11 or 12 years old at the time, but she always was developing a figure then, believe it or not, at that age. And she played like a 12-year-old prostitute. I am not kidding. She played like a 11, 12-year-old prostitute. And De Niro couldn't believe that this girl was working as a hooker. And so De Niro's asking, look, why are you doing this to yourself? And she says to him, what's it to you? And look, you're not my father, what's it to you? And he said, look, I don't think that's right that a girl your age should be being a hooker. And she goes, I don't care, you're not my father and stuff. And ran away from home and I decided to get into this business. And so De Niro made his life mission to get her out of that. And that's exactly what he eventually does. He does go out and kill the Jodie Foster's pimp. And he got out of there. And she eventually went back to her parents. And he got all the praise of being a cabbie hero saving this prostitute. And of course, I should mention the taxi driver did have the famous line, "You talking to me? You talking to me? You talking to me?" Him talking to himself in the mirror, and showed that he was going. He also shaved his head to like a mohawk, which of course at that time in 1976 wasn't a thing then. Not until about like 6 or 7 years later, when Mr. T came on the scene with his mohawk. There wasn't a thing back then in 1976, so they said this guy was really losing it. And then of course when he shot up Jodie Foster's pimp, he got shot himself, but he happened to live. He was in a coma for a while. He had to got all his praise being a serial cab driver, and they went back driving a cab. And then Sybil Shepherd looks him up and decides to give the guy a second. Wants to give him like a second chance, and he says to her, "Screw you! You didn't give me a chance the first time. We should give you a chance now." And he practically blew her off, and that was the end of the movie. Of course, this movie got all this praise, and I'm like, huh? It's like the television show Taxi and steroids. That's pretty much what this movie was. And of course, watching De Niro, watching him being nuts in this movie, of course, he was nuts in real life. Threatening to beat up the and I'd like to know is why in the hell isn't Robert De Niro arrested for threatening to hit the president? You can see whatever you want about Trump, but you don't threaten the president of the United States, no matter who it is. You should have gotten arrested for that shit, and he didn't do it. But of course, this was his movie that made him. Even though he did The Godfather Part 2 previously, and he also did, I think his first movie was Banging the Drum Slowly, which I previously reviewed, so check that out if you haven't seen it. And of course, this movie very much set his career, especially with that line, "You're talking to me" line. So let me review the movie Taxi Driver. Please click on the video, please rate it, feel free to comment. Please subscribe to my channel. Please forward this video to your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews on my YouTube channel at RowdyC.com. It's all WDY.C.com. Homepage to review of Chris Lee Moore. And please check out all of his videos on this website. I forgot you can't make comments on my videos anymore. I'm so used to saying making comments down below here because of the stupid drunk neighbor of mine who decides to insult me or call me something that I'm not. So thanks to him, folks, you cannot make comments on my videos anymore. You can't do it. So you can blame my name before. I'm not going to mention his name because his name's not even worth mentioning. That's how much of a scumbag this guy is. So please rate the video, and please forward this video to your Facebook pages, and so on. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.